All right. Let's do this.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome
to the awkward cave.
To the Unhinged podcast.
Welcome to the Unprepared Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Chris Platte. This is a Rap Cave podcast. I got my dogs with me. Bryce must be nice. B Mike Biirdie. And Big AP on the ones and twos.
Yes, sir.
Bryce everywhere nice. This dude travels. That's got to be his name, because this man travels. This man travels. I follow some Instagram accounts and they don't quite travel the way this guy travels.
No,
Work remote, everybody. Work remote.
very nomadic.
Yes.
That's what you call it. But no, we got a fun episode for you today. We got a really fun episode for you today. But before we start with like any of the new music that dropped, any of the Pusha T, Travis scandal that we talked about a little bit, but we're going to talk about it more, I got to say this. Young Thug came out and said he wants to be a streamer. And nothing sends more red flags to me than a rapper saying they want to be a streamer. That means whatever you thought this album was going to be,
the bag ain't coming.
is cooked. It's
The
done.
rent is due.
Finito. You got that one song with Future. That's it. That's it. Like the fact that he said this album is coming in June, and then he said June 37th, and then he said I don't know when it's coming out, and all we got is the Future single, which is fire, by the way. I think he got one song off with Future. He made a bunch of other music, and he's like, this ain't the same.
He's preparing ahead of time. He's like, this ain't it.
This one ain't it.
This ain't it. I mean,
The man had a year in jail to come up with some bars, so I'm hoping that something.
And then the judicial branch said everything you want to talk about, don't talk about.
That may be the thing right there. This album's probably got to go through 17 different lawyers just to even make it to the streets. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, listen, when a rapper says they want to be a streamer, in the middle of their album rollout, it's going to be dookie. It's going to be garbage. I had high expectations for this. I thought the whole industry was going to push this album, was going to have fun with this album. This is going to be a big moment. You were going to get you were going to get like an Ed Sheeran pop feature just because the money was going to be behind it. It wasn't going to be good, but the money was going to be there, so it would happen. I thought it was going to be that. Instead, I don't think we're getting shit, Birdie.
Yo, like
For your number 2 and not 2.
this is news to me right now.
I
Like,
didn't
did
know
not hear him
this
say
either.
this, but yo, like has Young Thug lost his aura or what? Like what's going
At
on?
least give it a shot.
I don't-
let the album drop and then
Look,
Man,
'cause
that's
here's
why
the
I'm
thing
thinking,
that's-
like throw it out there and see if it stick first. Like,
he's preemptively
but
saying.
I guess he's saying like he can't drop his album or something, right? Because he keep pushing back the dates or something.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm pretty sure if it was up to him, he would have been dropped. But
Or I think he's just not a fan of the music he's making because of the criteria and restrictions he has. And probably, like you said, I mean, you made the joke about the lawyers, but I didn't even think about that part of it. That there is probably now a whole nother roadblock set up for Young Thug in that, okay, you have an album. Instead of turning it into a label, you got to turn it into the label and the lawyers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing that scares me too. With any album drop, you always hear about, oh man, you see pictures of people in the studio with them, or like, oh man, this song, I heard this thing, it's fire. You hear people gassing up an album before it drops. We haven't heard shit.
No, we saw like one billboard, and then we heard him say June 37th. and now we hear I want to be a streamer, dude.
Yeah, even Gunner out here running around with no fear in his eyes whatsoever about what's about to drop.
Pretty funny, though.
June 37th is. What was that? Wasn't that? Oh yeah, wasn't that the Drake bar? It was like we'll link up on the 33rd or some shit like that.
something
That was
like
one of my favorite bars ever. That was one of my favorite bars ever.
Or 2 Chainz said something 31st of February.
31st in February.
That's fire. That's fire. But yeah, no, I just look, as we talked about it several times over. oh, what's going to happen on this? Is there going to be a Drake record? Is the Drake record going to have shots at Kendrick? Or is Young Thug going to choose Kendrick and say, fuck Drake? None of that matters, dude. This album is either not happening or it's just going to be thrown out and it's just going to be what it is. And that's it. But I don't see a world in which you can now expect something good.
If I were him, I would postpone the album and drop whatever he's got as a mixtape and see how it plays.
Now you're talking.
Well, I'm gonna
You're
say
cooking.
is we can bump Cardi up a little bit, eh? Hey?
Hey.
You telling me the King of Atlanta is about to be a streamer?
Yeah, nah, that's a crazy sequence of events right there, man. I mean,
It is. I'll give you
push
that.
back the album 2-3 times, and then yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Biirdie calling Cardi King of Atlanta. I mean, it might honestly be aging well, depending on what Future does. Birdadamus. Burshadamus.
We can at least say right now he's a runner-up, right?
I mean, he's at least an honorable mention right now.
Do you
Who
punt
would be-
Young Thug to the side now that like he's doing this?
We gotta we gotta bump.
But legacy,
Listen.
legacy.
Listen, legacy matters only a certain period of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lil Wayne was the king of Louisiana for how long, maybe? But now we got NBA YoungBoy. NBA YoungBoy is doing very well right now. So I'm gonna say YoungBoy is the king of Louisiana for sure over Lil Wayne.
Well, yeah, I heard the Guard 6.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but I get it. You know, like Future ain't been like on no bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, but Young Thug though, we seeing this right now. Like,
I know.
can we call it?
I'm just saying
Can we call it?
how much grace you give it. Like it's that old dude at pickup that still says he got. You know what I mean? It's that who's a player that's nice right now in the NBA, but they're old. They're not as nice as they were, but they're still nice. They're clearly a level down. So you got to kind of like watch how you talk to him, because that's where Young Thug is at. Young Thug is an all timer, but right now.
He is an all-timer for sure.
So how long
But
can
the thing is,
he ride
my
off the
argument-
legacy?
Crown doesn't stay on your head forever.
My argument was when I first stated this line was Playboy Cardi was king of Atlanta right now at this very
I know,
moment.
but like legacy though, it does push. It does push
How
for
long-
a certain
how long-
amount of time.
how
That's
long-
why I'm asking you.
'Cause
I don't know the answer.
I
don't got
know
the
how-
answer,
I
Sway.
don't know how long motherfuckers just sit on the throne not doing shit, but fucking I don't see people really motherfuckers in New York right now trying to figure out who is the king of New York right now. And they're not saying Jay-Z because Jay-Z ain't did shit the past motherfucking
It's a
8
difference
years.
between a king and a godfather.
Yeah, that's
one
true.
thing we haven't discussed that we do need to talk about is this is separate video, but Complex dropped their New York rappers list.
Yeah, I know they
I
dropped
saw
their
that.
50. I can't wait. We'll have to do a separate video on that because
definitely.
review that live. I ain't seen it yet.
I seen it. I put it in the group chat, but I didn't like thoroughly look
Oh
at
yeah,
it.
I probably seen like a couple names and shit. I didn't thoroughly look at it either.
Yeah, you don't be locked in the group chat like that.
Hey, listen, man. I be trying.
Nah, I'm fucking with
I'm
you.
definitely the most active.
I would say that, yeah, for sure.
No, you're the
For
most,
sure.
You're the
This
most
is the all-seeing, all-knowing. He don't say shit, but he sees everything.
I see it.
Because I'll pull up to him and I'll talk to him and he'll be like, yeah, I saw that. And it's just like I didn't see any word of that in the
No
in the
reaction,
group chat.
nothing. Just
No, I'll give a thumbs up or something
Yeah.
from now on. But I'm
Give a attaboy.
yeah.
I'm out of here just radio silent that bitch unless they want to argue once every month.
About Ken Carson. Once Ken Carson popped out, all of a sudden they puffed their chest out. But let's talk about somebody else puffing their chest out right now. Pusha T, Travis Scott. So we talked about it a little bit. We talked about the song "So Be It," where he took the shots at Travis Scott. You know, he said basically, you know, you cried on my arm like a bitch while your girl left you, ha ha ha, and he was disrespecting him. And he said that because of the Pharrell thing, the fact that Travis played Meltdown without Drake, and then whether Drake had the verse done or not, doesn't matter because at this end of the day, he still pressed play on an album that had a diss for Pharrell and Travis, and so he's like, this dude is corny, this dude is lame, blah blah, and he dissed him. The one part we didn't talk about really, didn't talk about when it came to that part is the fact of Bun B did say Travis Scott, he expects a response. He expects a response from Travis Scott. We touched on that part, but where are you guys at on the whole? He held the verse either held the verse or didn't have the verse at that time and still put out the album. Like, where are you guys on that part of it? Because he kind of outlined a pattern.
He honestly shouldn't even came in there showing them the song. Period. Just knowing Drake was on there, like. Nigga, like, you know Drake about to be on this song. Like, why is you even in here showing me this shit? Like,
bro, the thing I keep thinking about is that Pusha T just said he was in that bitch jumping around.
Like, and the way he describes it, too, he's like, we were all doing our own thing. He pulled up on us with the cameras just trying to get the promo for the album. They made it seem like he went out of his way to say, look who my friends are, to pull something like that.
Yeah. Hey, guys, look at me. Look who I know.
Yeah, that shit was nuts. But yeah, I think. Look, man, I think you're right about the fact that it's not gamey. Like, Pusha has some leg to stand on for every problem that he has, so to speak. So I'm not gonna call it a game rollout. But at this point, I'm ready for the music to speak for itself. Because what I've heard right now is 2 for 2. Ace of Trumpets, so be it. Absolutely fire.
These are bangers. And then for me, one thing I will say I respect about Pusha T doesn't hold his tongue. Pusha T doesn't give a fuck if you are who your friends are. If you feel like you've wronged him, if he feels like you wronged him, he's gonna air it out straight up.
I did see people saying, "Hey, you got all this smoke for Travis Scott, for Drake, who's in a lot bigger issues than you right now, for Kanye, who's Kanye." Mm-hmm. Where's the smoke at for Jim Jones? He did say in the interview it's coming. So I just want to say that.
Preempted. He said, "No, don't forget, I still hate him."
Listen,
This guy Pusha T is hilarious, dude.
Kendrick
He's
did lie.
a certified bully.
When Kendrick said he the biggest hater, no, Pusha T the biggest hater.
I think
Pusha T is the biggest hater.
I think
Pusha T hates more strategically.
I think that's a Michael Jordan, LeBron. Whoever your GOAT is who your GOAT. I think they're both generational haters, and I'd throw Kanye in there as well.
I think Pusha T is valid in everything he says, so I ain't even gonna call him a hater.
No, you are right. But
yes,
Pusha T.
He's excited to dislike people.
He is excited for the
Definitely
smoke.
Excited.
Mr. Me Too.
Definitely excited to get at somebody.
You are right. Especially in this sense, he's entirely valid because that's just weird.
Yeah, P's his guy.
But at the same time, you do have to acknowledge that Pusha T lives for this shit. He loves it.
Dude, he's such a bully. Like the way he's talking about.
What did he call him?
He called him a whore.
No, he said harmless.
Yeah, he said
he was harmless. Yes,
he said he was harmless and a whore.
Harmless isn't even a word I use to describe pretty much anything.
He just finds
harmless is what you describe like a bug in your house.
Yeah, they're harmless. That's about the extent
he
of that.
knows how.
Oh man, harmless is crazy.
He knows how to like speak to a man's ego and cut deep. Because the shit he said about Kanye, like I'm not gonna lie, if I'm Kanye, if I'm Travis, that shit is getting under my skin 10 times out of 10. Because he said to Kanye, he said, the reason we're not friends is because he knows when I look at him, I don't see a man.
Yeah.
Dog, hey man, I'm not a fighter, but I gotta fight you. I have to.
You have to.
You gotta just like little bro him at that point because he's just talking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Pusha's always said, I'm going to peel it back layer by layer. He knows how to get, like you said, he knows how to get under somebody's skin.
If I'm off the nigga, shut the fuck up. I'll pay you, bitch ass nigga.
Not anymore. He did. He did though. Yeah.
He
did
know
though.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. For sure.
I mean,
Keep my name out your goddamn mouth.
You got to fight him on sight. You got to fight him.
Dog, this guy Pusha T, man, he's such a bully. Like, he's just one of those people. I feel like you can't get under his skin either. And that's what would annoy That's what would like annoy me if I was ever in
Yeah,
conflict.
Pusha T seems
Unfazed.
and unpenetrable as far
Yeah.
as like
The thing that annoyed him
his
about
touches,
Drake was
anger.
Drake putting his wife's name in a song. He's like, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to do it then. We're going to go all the way.
But even that, he was like, because I rewatched the Joe Budden podcast, and he was like, yeah, but like it was already gonna go that way.
And let's keep in mind, still, as a whole of all of this shit, it all goes back to what happened to that boy.
Yep.
It's literally where
All of this.
every single fucking side of this pretty much starts from. Dog.
Yes, 100%.
That's
Who would have
like,
thought that
because
one
I-
song would change
I
hip
saw,
hop
like,
history?
I saw a quote tweet the other day, and it was like, people don't understand how much history this song is responsible for.
Yeah.
It is the birthplace of all of this.
Everything.
Dude,
Even,
there's
I don't think Drake and Kendrick's shit would have even happened the same if it wasn't for the differences along the way having to do with that song. That song fucked everything up.
I think it needs to go down as one of the most important songs in hip hop history because
Absolutely.
it,
It really
has
is.
changed the
It absolutely is.
complete ecosphere of the hip hop plane.
And you know what's crazy too? It's a good song.
It's a great
yeah,
song.
it's a
It's a
phenomenal
banger!
song.
It's a
But,
fucking
dude,
classic.
Pusha T's verse on that song is so fucking hard, dog. Oh my god, that song is incredible. So it's not even a bad song that changed. It's good and it changed history.
I can't disagree. That is the song that changed history.
Shit, dude, this guy Pusha T has such an incredible discography. He's one of them ones. But yeah, I found that all very interesting. The other thing, you good?
I just say some crazy.
I'm so glad I don't. I'm so glad I don't got
Say it out loud.
as
God damn.
as soon as. I'm so glad I didn't have headphones because that sounded like some ASMR. That was like, oh my god.
But you already know.
Wait, what's this? Fun. Oh hey.
Oh hey.
So I didn't see I didn't see everything you put, but I'm assuming what that's tied to,
We'll talk about it.
and where we're at with it. And remember, remember who your boy is. Remember who your boy is. Remember who you've been potting with all this time. Remember who believed in you. Remember that. Remember the one that was like, I believe you. Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
Anyway,
But
Alrighty then.
yeah.
Back to you in the studio.
I might be sitting next to the next owner of the Lakers. I might be sitting But
Oh damn, you the one who coughed up that 10 bill?
yeah, no, that was crazy too. The Lakers sold for 10
10
billion.
That shit is insane.
10 billion.
That's like 200 lifetimes of money.
See, it's,
That is a very interesting metric to go with.
it's really nothing to a guy like me, honestly.
It's more like 175 for me. I don't know how everybody's tax bracket works. No, but
That's That's what I want to look at now. In any sale, I don't want to know the number. I want to know how
many lives do I have to-
lifetimes of money that is. I think that's the best metric ever. 200 lifetimes of money. That's straight up facts.
Ain't it though?
That's facts.
It is.
no, that's insane. That's insane. So the other thing we want to get to let's do new music. Let's knock out new music. Then we'll close with our other topic, which is fun. New
Fun.
music.
It's all fun. We're having fun.
It's all fun. We're having fun. But
I'm not being held here at gunpoint. I swear.
we had a I would call it a dope week. I enjoyed this week. I feel like this was a Chris Platte week. I feel like you got a lot of what checks the Chris Platte boxes. You got a Nick Grant album. You got singles from Wale, singles from Offset and JID. You got a project from Terrence Martin. You got Samara Sin, which like I just dog. Did you hear the record with Smino? Please tell me you heard.
Yeah, I listened to it. Yeah.
Dog, she is out of this world good. She is literally female Smino.
Smino was like one of the first ones to like really start putting her on.
I see why. I see why. Because he heard that and he was just like, damn, I ain't hit that note before.
Damn, girl, is you.
Yeah, I swear to God. But no, it was a really, really dope week. It didn't have...
Alchemist and Erykah Badu, but we.
Yes,
talk about that.
Alchemist and Erykah Badu. That comes with its own conversation. But First, I want to talk about specifically the Nick Grant album, because to me, I feel like when it comes to this Nick Grant album, here's what I'm looking for when I get a Nick Grant drop. I'm looking for a cohesive body of work that stands apart in his discography and gives me minimum 10 verse of the year contenders. And that's what I got with this album. So I'm very happy. Like, first listen, I was riding around, I was listening to it. I was like, this is fire. This is fire. I ran it back, and I liked it even more, because that's what a Nick Grant album is. It's a lot of quotables that just go completely over your head, and then you got to just listen and listen and listen, and you keep catching them, you keep enjoying it. But I love the way that he just continues to be fearless with his approach to his space. Like, he's very comfortable. That was what this album told me, is he's very comfortable in his space, because I talked to him and I was like, hey man, I feel like you're gonna come out shooting at everybody on this album. Blah blah. He didn't tell me what the message was or what the tone of this album, but I thought after what happened last year, him being the rapper he was just gonna come out shooting with everybody. And I didn't get that at all. I got on here, I got someone who's cool, comfortable in their skin, and it's like, look, I know I'm the best. I know motherfuckers don't want to rap with me. If somebody wants to rap with me, let's rap. But I'm not gonna make this my whole album. And I thought that was really dope. I thought he continued to go into his bag of what he wants to talk about, of where he's at in life, what he feels about the music industry. This was a very anti-industry album. And do it over arguably some of the most industry production ever. Like, I love that contradiction, because like I said, that Ritual beat sounds like a straight Drake beat. Like, there was a lot of different pockets and flows that he tapped into on this that I haven't heard from him. Some of the samples, he sampled a little bit of Earth, Wind and Fire on here. Like, he just really did what he needed to do on this album. I was very impressed with it. It stands out in his discography, and that's all I want from a guy like Nick Grant. So I really enjoy this. I can't wait to keep spinning and catching the lines layer by layer, because I already heard that reverse essay line was just crazy. That was just crazy. Where he said, what did he say? He said, women throwing pussy on you. That's reverse essay. I was like, oh my god. He's like, I've been Pablo with the work essay. Yeah, he was smoking.
No, the album's
really dope. Smoking.
I really like the 2-part song. It was what was it? Pass It Out. Pass It Out. House Calls. That song was really good. I really fucked with that one. Super happy.
Yeah. No, that was a tough one. I really liked what was that? I really liked the outro. I loved even like the girl records he tapped into are different than the girl records he's done before, because he's done the girl records before. But like,
You're talking about like the Pride and stuff.
Yeah, Pride and what was the other one? Do You Love Me? Or yeah, some along those lines. And I haven't even ran the singles back, because I've been like, I just want to listen to the new ones. But that single. Why am I blanking on? It's the second to last song. Help me out here. Because I like Big Timers, that's track 4, but Nothing's Free, that song is phenomenal, dude. That song is phenomenal. So he rapped his ass off. He did what he needed to do. He did what I expected to do. I'm very satisfied, because I feel like if you're in the world that Nick Grant is, it gets kind of tough. And this is the one thing I'm gonna ask him too. This is one thing I'm gonna ask him when I get the chance, because I heard this Lil Wayne and Eminem quote, and it just sticks with me. It was like, I think when Lil Wayne was doing that, I think it was Lil Wayne did that Apple Music or whatever, like where he had his own show or whatever, and he had Eminem on, and this was like years ago. And him and Eminem were talking about, how do you, after being so many years in the game, you have this canvas, and every album you're just like adding new paint to it. How do you like fill up or how do you add paint to a full canvas? And I think the great ones are the ones that are able to do that and do that consistently. Because you know what you're getting from Nick Grant. You know what you're getting from Nick Grant, and you can enjoy this album because it is a Nick Grant album. It's clear it's a Nick Grant album, but it's not the same as these others. Like we talk about Biirdie James is my guy, right? Mm-hmm. Every single album, you know exactly what you're going to get from Biirdie, and it's very good. But Nick Grant does a good job of switching it up enough, keeping it fresh. So shout out to him, because I feel like an artist of his caliber, it's a very tricky thing to do. So I really enjoyed this album. This was a highlight for me, absolutely.
Hey, you really do be barring the fuck up though, like line after line. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Like he just keeps punching. It don't stop.
And he's like the best. I feel like a great example of like barring up and not being lyrical, miracle, spiritual. Type of shit. You know what I
it's
mean?
never corny.
Yeah, it's not. That's what I mean. That's why it's impressive to me, is because it's very. You could toe that line.
It's cool guy. It's cool guy rap.
It still comes off like with some swag to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, this is kind of, like I said, this is much more. My only thing about him has always been, I know he can rap his ass off. I want to see you put together a cohesive project that would stand on the test. And I think you're right. I think this is, I'm only one listen through, but I think this is the closest I've heard for him being in that realm of like, yes, you can blend, like kind of your more radio friendly singles with your more introspective. You can have a good lyrical output, but you can make it palatable where you're not just kind of trying to tap into your own fan base. You're trying to expand. I think that's the hardest thing for an artist, is to try to expand and widen their fan base without going like full pop or going too corny.
I agree. And Nick Grant, if you're listening, I need that Sunday dinner vinyl. Stop fucking playing. I need that. That's one of my favorite albums.
I feel like he'd be watching battle raps too. On the low key.
For sure.
I can 100%.
For sure. I feel like I've seen him tweet about some of the battles.
He probably is a good battle rapper, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
His delivery, the way
he's got that.
Raps, I feel like he could battle rap.
It translates a cappella. It translates a cappella.
Exactly, right.
I don't know,
but
it'd be hard for me because like motherfuckers like that's actual rappers be ass at battle rapping. Like,
who are some of the people? Because I know
Red Rolls, White Ceiling.
Didn't Joe Budden do something before he retired? I feel like he did. I feel like he did, and I didn't.
He might have had an event or something. I can't remember. I remember Daylight fucking like shitted on or act like he shitted on the stage or some shit at that event or something. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Oh, that was that? Because I remember people. I remember Joey Baz during the beef was mentioning that whole like you shit on. That was the Joe Budden thing.
Wait,
I didn't know that.
What happened? Daylight took a shit.
So Daylight was like rapping and he was like basically I'm the shit, and then he pulled down his pants and tried to take a shit live while he was battle rapping.
All right.
That's a strong choice. That's a strong choice.
Yeah, he done had a lot of.
We said the same. That's a choice.
He done had a lot of questionable antics in his day, but
interesting. I didn't know that about Daylight. No.
He did put his ass out in
public. It was funny because I wasn't bringing up Daylight for that, but I was saying there's a reason that we talk about like Daylight in terms of like battle rap, but the man don't really have any singles because. You gotta be able to toe that line of being able to rap,
You heard that with the battle.
It's hard to cross over.
With the battle, like everyone like, Daylight's about to come and eat badass. I'm like, no, he's not. No, he doesn't know how to drop a single.
Yeah,
like on beat bars be sounding good, but like a battle, and then going against an opponent, that shit's way different.
It's one thing to battle rap; it's another thing to drop a song.
Yeah. Yes. And battle rappers be ass at
that
making
goes into
music.
the argument that I always make, because when it comes to like your Eminems, your
like
whatever,
Cannabis,
MGK,
that nigga was ass.
Can I bust?
That nigga can I bust? that nigga came on stage. Forgot all his lines. They had to bring this nigga out his notepad.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, maybe stop making all the goddamn words. No, but the thing is like there's a difference between being able to rap extremely well and being able to make a song. There's a very clear difference in those things.
Yeah,
it was like
it's like okay, like Rap God that Eminem did and what that it was what
2014 I think
14, 15,
something like that.
And it's like okay. We get it. You can rap really well. This song is nearly unlistenable. Literally, like I don't even. Fucking show up, you assume I'm a human. Shut the fuck up. I don't care what you are. Because you ain't a goat. I tell you that.
Okay,
Oh man, it's true though. I mean, like you said, it's hard to toe that line, and I think it becomes especially harder if you're an underground artist and you grew up kind of like, I'm ready to battle, I'm ready to do this, to be able to transition to, I also know how to make a song without it sounding like, all right, I'm just gonna get Bruno Mars and do what I can.
Like, I mean, Meek Mill's an example of that. He grew up as a battle rapper and then was able to transition.
Meek Mill's is more like pre-written freestyle. I'm talking, well, all battles is
written,
but
yeah.
like his shit like freestyle. Like he just freestyling a song more than it is an actual, not a song, but like some shit he wrote more than it actually be like an actual battle. But battle rapping back then was different.
Wasn't
It was more.
different.
No,
It
was
wasn't
more
like
like
as-
stance. It wasn't like set up. To be like,
Yeah.
you
So
know,
it was different.
wasn't
Yeah,
it
so
more?
I don't think Meek Mill could battle rap like how
Was
battle
it-
rappers do
No,
that.
Wasn't
probably
Meek's
not,
more
but
like-
that is how he grew up, and he did transition
Yeah.
into making like actual music that's
Yeah.
listenable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because some of the
Wasn't
first
he more
mixtapes
like
were not.
just like the person that was like battling locally, like not like a rap battler, but just
he
like
was doing like
battling?
local battles. But
Yeah.
when he was battle rapping,
Because like who did that too, which is crazy, that blows my mind, is Black,
Oh,
the R&B
really?
artist. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
shit.
he's like a thorough,
I think I've heard that before.
like local battle, but like it was local. It wasn't like he was like a battle
He
rapper
went
that.
straight into R&B.
Yeah.
yeah, the only person I know who can do music and battle rap is Sue Surf. That's the only person I know who can do both and is good at both.
Yeah, because you have to have separation. You can't just, it doesn't translate directly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just like take like exactly what you have battle rapping and apply it to a song. It doesn't work that way.
You got to write a song structure, and you got to be able to listen to a beat. You got remember Nas after his first album. Nas was people were trashing on Nas because he couldn't pick a good beat. They know that he could rap his ass off. He didn't even know how to put his beat into use.
I think that's the problem with Carter 6. For real, them beat selections was...
Bro, his beat
Yeah.
selection was so
I
fucking bad.
I
You
think
honestly
the
throw
rapping
some-
wasn't as
Yeah.
terrible. It wasn't like
You throw
Wayne,
s-
but it wasn't like
You throw
terrible.
some of them songs on a different beat, you get a different
Yeah.
outcome. For
Yeah,
sure.
he was we could all admit that he was technically still there. Like you could still see, like
He
this
was
is Lil
rapping
Wayne.
fine, but that peanuts to an elephant shit, bro. that old fucking Donkey Kong ass music, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, he basically like any wide receiver playing for the Ravens. Like you can still see flashes, but it's cooked.
I like the. I
That's
like, I like
that's a
Bells.
bar.
Bells was alright.
That's a Nick
I'll
Grant
give him
bar
that.
right there.
It's the only song I could really return to.
Welcome
I-
Is anybody
Welcome to
else?
Carter was fire.
Has anybody else got anything to highlight off of? Because we're getting off base here. Has anybody else got anything to highlight off of the new music drops that happened?
I gotta say at least the Alchemist and Erykah Badu thing, but yeah, a lot of people have had issues because their whole rollout is all AI, which is just, I mean, and again, people have made the point, which is, it sounds like it came directly from me, but saying like, you have the resources, why the fuck are you not using them? You have the money, you can get people to animate this shit for you if you want some animated, and it's weird for somebody like.
But you can save money.
It's at Menards, yeah, I get it, yeah. But like
AI
feel
is
like,
Menards.
I feel like Erykah Badu, that like kind of goes against her character in a sense of like who she's kind of presented herself to be. I feel.
As long
I
as there's
think it's-
candles in the room, I don't think Erykah Badu gives a fuck.
And we all know what those candles smell like. But but I actually take a little bit different on this because if you followed Erykah Badu's career, she's always been someone who's been like very experimental with like what is the new age of things, like her New America and all that stuff. It was based around like, okay, what does the internet like age mean in music? Her, can't use my phone is what is the use of like cell phone and technology and stuff. And she was also just inspired by Drake. But
that, yeah.
so it wouldn't surprise me that she's like, okay, AI is this new thing. What does it mean in the 2025 to be a musician with this type of technology around?
I mean, look, I do get it from a creative standpoint of like playing with AI because like I know people that are in like the video world that do it. It is fun to like see what the tool can do. I get that part of it, but yeah, no, I just feel like, yeah, I'd feel a little cheap. And if like Alchemist and Erykah Badu. Like, this was announced early in the year, and we all sat here and we were all excited about it. And to hear AI involved in that does kind of dampen it because, like, to me, the whole thing was it was going to be fun to watch Alchemist and Erykah Badu, how they figure out whose world to go into, or are they creating their own world sonically? Like, what are they doing? So, I don't know, man. That like AI stuff. I feel like I feel like I would if I was an artist. I feel like I would enjoy like playing around with it in the studio, but I feel like I wouldn't actually put anything out that is AI because I feel like that just like I would be embarrassed and I don't know.
I'm not going to judge it until I hear it,
Yeah.
and I think, like I said, right now
wouldn't enjoy
timing
it.
is the worst because everyone is shitting on Timbaland right now
Yeah.
for his stuff. So
We just did a video about
Yeah,
that
we
the other
just
day.
yeah.
And then also, one thing that is kind of weird too, because I've discovered this Riff Raff song recently that I really like. It's
I really want to see where this goes.
it's Riff Raff, Sada Baby, and Sauce Walker.
Shout out.
Them three on a song together.
I can hear Riff Raff
What?
and Sauce Walker together, but
But with Sada Baby,
Sada was
I'll
kinda-
show it to you after. But it popped up because very recently a video dropped for it. It came out last year at some point, but a video dropped for it. And the video is like, it's so AI. It's literally like every camera angle is just it just keeps switching between different AI scenarios. And so I was like, okay, I will say actually the use of it was kind of cool, but at the same time, whatever. I don't really care. I'm not looking at Riff Raff for integrity necessarily. So like
You aren't studying
whatever,
bar by bar?
right? But now he's going back and like dropping AI videos of his old songs, and he did one with Aquaberry Dolphin with Mac Miller, and it was like it like the AI went through like every Mac Miller music video and did it, and so it's like. It's kind of like, first of all, I don't know if he got permission for all that. Second of all, it's like that to appropriate that heavily and take literal like music videos that are out there and then take them and morph them into this like thing.
It's like I said, I think it's still very new because if you remember, there was the time of this kind of the same backlash when people started doing holograms on stage.
Yeah, sort
Yeah.
of, right. Yeah, along the same lines. And it's not just because it's Mac Miller. I just think of like, it's a little unethical. Well, it's a lot unethical.
Yeah.
But like,
Like I said, I think we're just at such an early
like
stage.
the Tupac
It's the
holograms
Wild
and
West.
shit.
It's. I think it's going to regulate itself eventually, but we're at the Wild West point right now. It's so new that people don't know what they should or shouldn't be doing with it, what they can and cannot do. It's a tool, and I think that eventually it may become corny. It may become played out. It may grow into something else.
may
We just
become
don't know.
the norm.
I find
Yeah.
it hard to believe at this point. That's like one thing that people. I don't see it going anywhere. As far as it's not just one. We're not gonna wake up and AI's gone. And it kind of fucking like.
No, yeah, I don't think.
But
it's- I don't
it'll
think
be
it's fucking
integrated in a
even.
way that
It's
makes
billions
sense.
on billions.
Because again, we woke up one day and we were getting a lot of hologram related like concerts and things like that, and
That
we
was
woke
big,
up
like between like
and then it went
2015
away.
to 20 was like when they were really good pushing the hologram.
and then it went. And when's the last time you've seen anything like there was like, okay, maybe we won't do a person or a full concert. We'll just do like projections of things, or now it's just gone.
Completely unrelated to AI. They now are ready to release what happened to the video Jeffrey Epstein.
Great timing. Love that. Oh my god. That's so funny.
No, dude. The government was like,
They finally know what happened to that boy.
the government was finally like, hey, you know what? We've uncovered the footage of what happened to Jeffrey Epstein, and literally all the comments are AI finally got it right. Like motherfuckers ain't, even the stupid people ain't buying that shit. Other thing, last thing I want to say, Wale single fire, shout out to Wale. Our last thing is that I just find it interesting that Cardi B and finally it loaded.
Right.
Some of it, not even all of it. But finally it was interesting because Cardi B and Offset happened to drop the same week. Now I feel like that is very planned by either one of them, both of them, or the labels that are involved. But it just was very. It's so weird. Like I don't know. That whole thing is corny to me because like she's with Stefan Diggs apparently, and he's with Stefan Diggs' ex. And they both dropped singles together, and she dropped a single about I'm outside, I don't give a fuck, I'll fuck LeBron. That's literally what she says on the song. She's like, I don't care, I'll throw it everywhere. I don't care, I'm having fun, whatever. Hey, do you, pro ho. But like at the same time, Offset is like dropping a single, and I'm like, this is all just like petty and weird to me. JID's verse was fire though. That's all I gotta say.
JID's verse was fire, and it'd be one thing if Offset was dropping like a response track, but this is very much just seems like okay, him and JID like truly cooked this up. I do think the timing of it was everyone knew Cardi B was dropping this weekend because I guess her fans have been like pushing for this song to be released. So it makes sense for him. Like, hey, your profile is never going to be higher than if you drop a song right now. But I don't know. I mean, they both are toxic in terms of how they act around each other and about each other. So, of course, it doesn't surprise me.
Absolutely, the Love Island of rap. So I've been told. I know a lot of people.
The Love Island of rap.
I know a lot of people that are like pro. You know how you've seen those girls breaking down football and sports to girls so that they can understand what it's like to be around their boyfriends that are insufferable like myself. I
literally just opened Twitter and the very first tweet says, it's from JID. It says, random fun fact, me and Offset made this song in a hotel in Hangzhou, China. In China.
Season
in
7
China.
of Long Island. Love Island.
I don't know how it's pronounced, but
That is a Long Island.
That's Long Island.
That is a Long Island.
that is one Long Island.
Geographically speaking.
That's not how geography works.
Or whatever. They recorded that song in China. Is crazy though.
In China.
China.
All right. I think we'll call it there. I think we'll call that an episode. Thank you all for tuning into this episode of the Rap Cave. As always, I'm your host, Chris Platte, a.k.a. Platte Pods.
Platte
with my
Pods.
dogs, B. Mike, Birdie,
Birdman.
Bryce, everywhere nice. And then Big AP on the ones and twos, man. Shout out to you for making everything possible. We appreciate you. Let us know in the comments below. What did you think of all the new music drops? What did you think of the Pusha T and Travis Scott beef? All of that and more. Let us know in the comments. Stay tuned. We got a great episode coming for you next week. We'll see you then. Peace.